Hey everyone, Devin here, aka the world's okayest fisherman, and today I'm going to show you how to supercharge your bait casting reel by adding ceramic bearings in an Elite Parts Kit. In this video, we're going to be upgrading a Royale Legend Elite bait casting reel, which is a tournament quality proven bait casting reel. We're going to take it to that next level by adding Spool Hi-speed ceramic bearings and an Elite Parts Kit from KastKing. Let's start by covering the tools you're going to need. First tool is going to be a small Phillips head screwdriver and a 10mm wrench. Next, you'll need a pair of channel lock pliers, a small flathead screwdriver, a pair of needle nose tweezers. You may find a pair of angled needle nose tweezers useful as well. A pair of small needle nose pliers. And a pair of angled needle nose pliers. The parts that we're going to replace that come in the Elite Parts Kit include the reel handle, the star drag, the tension knob, and the spool. Here's all the parts that come with the new parts kit. This is the new spool. As you can see, it's black anodized with red anodized inserts, and it comes with a brand new double shielded stainless steel ball bearing. Here's the star drag, again black with red inserts. It's made of aluminum. This is kind of cool. Around the edge it says designed for competition, engineered for the win. Here's the new reel handle. Again, more black with red inlay. One thing I noticed is that the knobs are actually larger on this reel handle than the original. And lastly, we have the new retainer and the new tension knob. The first thing we're going to do is remove the reel handle. To do that, we're going to remove this screw using our small Phillips head screwdriver so that we can remove the handle nut cap. Now we're going to remove the handle retaining nut using our 10mm wrench. This nut's a little different in that it isn't righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. It is actually lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. All of the hardware under the star drag can be left on. Now we can remove the tension knob by simply unscrewing it. Just make sure that you don't lose this little orange washer that's inside. The first bearing that we're going to replace is the one behind the tension knob. There's a small retaining clip behind here, and we're going to take that out first. To remove the retaining clip, you can either use the needle nose tweezers, but I like to use the small flathead screwdriver. Be super careful with this clip because it is a spring and it's very tiny. It will shoot off into oblivion. You can see here that I cover the bearing with my finger while I'm removing the clip so that I don't lose it. Now you can remove the bearing. You may need to use a tool to get it out, but mine was able to just dump right out. Now it's time to install our first ceramic bearing. Installation is simply the opposite order of removal. First, just drop the new bearing into the hole where the tension knob is, and then use your small screwdriver to make sure it sits flush. Now we can insert the retaining clip. The easiest way to insert the retaining clip is by doing the open end first. Once the open end of the retaining clip is in and seated, I use the small flathead screwdriver to press down around the edges. Now you can install your new tension knob. Make sure that the new knob has the same orange washer as the old tension knob. If not, remove it from the old one and install it with the new one. The second bearing that we're going to replace is the one that comes with the new spool. You can see here that there's a retaining pin that needs to be removed. That's where our channel locks come into play. If you look closely at the channel locks, the lower jaw sticks out farther than the upper jaw, and our retaining pin is a tapered pin, meaning one end is skinnier than the other. Using your channel locks, place the lower jaw against the tapered part of the pin and the upper jaw on the spool shaft. Gently squeeze the channel locks and press the pin out. Now use your needle nose pliers to pull out the pin. The stock bearing should slide right off. Now you can install the new bearing by doing everything in reverse order. With the pin installed taper side down, turn your channel locks over and press the pin into the hole. Try to make the pin even on both sides. The last bearing we're going to replace is the shaft support bearing. There's another spring clip in here, and this one's much more difficult to remove. And this is where the needle nose tweezers come into play. Once you're able to get one of the corners of the spring clip up, use your angled needle nose pliers to remove the clip. It's a lot less likely to fire off in a random direction because you're holding it with the pliers. Now we can remove the final bearing. This one's a little more difficult to remove because the magnets are holding it in, so very carefully using your angled needle nose pliers, place them in the hole and gently lift out so as not to damage the bearing. Just like before, installing the new bearing is as simple as doing everything in reverse. Simply drop the new bearing into the hole where the old bearing was, and reinstall the retaining clip. Now we can fully reassemble the reel. Start by putting the spool back into the reel frame. Now we can install our new star drag. And the final step, installing the reel handle. When you're installing the handle nut, make sure that one of the edges is pointed at the hole for the retainer. This will make sure that the retainer lines up properly when you put in the screw. Congratulations! If you made it all the way through this video, your Royale Legend Elite should now be supercharged.